Hey, man, say, man, it's the Freestyle King, Lil Flipper, man. And I only touch greatness, man. Yeah, you know how Hazy and T do it, man. Go. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you doing?
Yeah, man. Ah, bless, man. Just was getting everything in order, so it would be a quiet atmosphere.
Oh, okay. Perfect. I appreciate you coming on, first of all, before we get to any other questions. You know, we've worked together a few times over the years, and I'm a really big fan. The podcast is called I Only Touch Greatness, so I'm only lining up the biggest and the best.
Yeah.
Why I came to get you.
Man, thank you, my guy. Yeah, that's why I'm here, man. I told you I got you, man.
Yeah. You ever been to Vancouver?
I've been once, like a long time ago. Like I did a run where I did Toronto, Vancouver, and Ontario. I think those are only 3 places I went over there.
Okay.
Yeah. It's cold. Hey, it be cold as fuck over there.
Except for Vancouver, that's the East Coast is freezing.
Yeah.
On the West Coast, we got the same weather as Seattle. We're only 2 hours away.
I know, bro. Like we came when it was like cold. Like I went one time when it was cold, and then one time when I got to see and experience the little breeze. I was like, okay.
And it's a pleasure to get to smoke with you too. That was one thing I wanted to conquer.
Hey, no problem, man.
My family actually lived in Houston for last couple of years. By Galleria Mall, they had an ice skating rink. Inside
Correct.
the mall. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we were a couple blocks away from there.
Man, that's dope. A lot of traffic in that area.
Yeah. One of your biggest songs you ever had was Game Over, obviously, right? I read somewhere that you had a lawsuit because it sounded like Pac-Man.
Yeah, make a long story short, I never wanted to rap on that beat. A&R that worked for that company, Sony, he brought the beat to me. I didn't want to rap on it. They paid me to rap on the beat. I was like, I don't really want to do it because somebody from where I'm from, they had a beat. They rapped on a Pac-Man beat, and then Benny Siegel, he had a record called Mac Man. So I was just like, man, I'd rather not do it. They were like, well, what if we pay you? And I think it was either 15 or 30 grand. Like it was one of those numbers. I'm like, yeah, you give me 15 or 30 grand. I forgot the number.
Yeah.
But yeah, they paid me to rap on it. That's why when Game Over come on, I'm trying to curse. I'm like, oh shit, y'all done fucked up and let me in this bitch. Like I'm trying to do everything like to make it not go far. Like, you know what I mean? And
like sabotaging it.
correct. And it still blew the fuck up. But yeah. But they the record label, they ended up handling everything because they're the ones who brought the fucking beat to the table. It wasn't a record that I brought, but yep, they took care of that, and it was nothing.
So Houston really has its own movement. I seen it a little bit when I was there for that weekend, but it really has its own movement vibe as opposed to, like, say, the East Coast has their East Coast vibe and the West Coast has their West Coast vibe. And I mean, Canada, we got the whatever, you're freezing cold apparently.
Yep.
So what? Like, I know this stuff, but what would separate Houston in your eyes from every other city or area, east, north, west, south?
Our culture is different. I mean, like we take pride in our cars. Like, you know, we put the candy paint and we put the swangers, the rims that stick out for those who watching and don't know. Those are the swangers. They poke out like that. We call them pokers. And, you know, on the West Coast, they ride Daytons, you know what I mean? But down here, we ride swangers and blades and, you know, 4Gs, you know what I mean? And spinners, we used to ride those in 2004, you know what I mean? But yeah, we got our own culture, you know, DJ Screw, the whole slow music, screwed up click. You got your Swisher House. Like, we just bona fide hustlers. It's a lot of land. The cost of living down here is way cheaper. You get way more land, way more bang for your buck. And we just got our own style. You know, we laid back, we about our business. And, you know, we laid back until it's time not to be laid back.
Yeah.
And and we don't even have to leave our city, let alone our state.
Yeah.
Like we can make and have made and do make millions of dollars. Like just if we just say, I just want to tour Texas only. Like we have so many towns and so many people that we've like blessed in stages, man. Like we don't have to go outside our state or city to really get no money.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You once toured with Wu-Tang, right? I was younger back then, but I remember seeing a flyer.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a European tour with them. We went everywhere. Germany, Switzerland, Amsterdam, where else did we go? Paris, Italy. Man, we were some places. It was one of the best experiences of my life, man, to see how things come full circle. Like I met Wu-Tang Clan in my neighborhood at a shoe store called Active Athlete. It's where I've been getting my shoes since the 80s, right? So it was a record store right next door called Stick Horse Records and Tape. So one day I'm pulling up after church, right? And I hop out and I see this van. It's like a minivan, black minivan. And a lot of rappers hopping out. I didn't know they were rappers, but like a lot of people were hopping out. And they had these maxi cassette single tapes. And, yo, what up, son? Yo, we Wu-Tang Clan, man. We pushed, at that time, they was pushing the record METHOD, man. And so, you know, I got not the information, I got the autograph. Like they gave me a CD, a tape. They gave me the tape. And they were like, we go sign it for you, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, I'm gonna check it out. And so I checked it out and I was like, this is different. Like, even though I always listened to all kind of music my whole life, but their style was different. It was raw. It was like, we don't care about radio format. You know, most people want to do 3/16s or, you know, make sure the record's only 3 minutes. You know, it was so many of them. They were like on some cypher lyrical, you know, shit, just unorthodox production, unorthodox rhyme schemes. Everybody had their own style. Old Dirty Bastard, like all these guys. So long story short, you know, I meet them, get the tape. Fast forward to like 10 years later, I end up being on tour with them and being label mates with them because they was on Loud. I was on Loud. You know, Sony, Columbia, Loud. That's all under one umbrella. So I went from meeting them to being label mates with them to touring with them. And then while we were in Germany, they were like, RZA was like, man, come to the studio. I'm working on some stuff, man. We working on the song for the Blade Trinity movie soundtrack. And he was like, come to the studio. So me being the person that I am, the great leader team player, my cousin Big Shasta, he was with me. I'm like, Shasta, I threw him an alley. I'm like, hey, come up with a dope ass hook for it. So he did the hook. I rapped, you know, I did a verse or whatever. And they actually played the song in the movie. It's like a little part, they play the song, but they play Shasta part. They play the hook. Okay. They didn't play none of my verse. I was like, damn, man, you know what I mean? But
you're allowed to swear on here.
Yep. So, but that's dope, man. You meet somebody and end up being label mates with them and making money. Like, cause I made a good 300,000, like touring with them, man. That was dope as fuck.
And you talked about Loud Records, right? And that's Steve Rifkin, right?
Steve, yeah. Shout out to Steve Rifkin. Salute, man.
You still in contact in good terms and everything?
I haven't talked to him in a minute.
But
I see.
But good terms. But
yeah. No, definitely, man. I mean, hell, when he left, you know, Loud, he started his own stuff, SRC, and like his first record was Like a Pimp with David Banner. So it's like he signed me, and then, you know, he did his own thing, and I still assisted, you know, him getting the bag. You know what I mean? Because Like a Pimp, it had went gold. It's probably platinum now, but like around that time, he had went gold, and even Akon was on tour with me before you know, like he was on tour with me. Like it was crazy. Like so.
One time we spent 2011 on a 1-year contract making beats for fucking Convict.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, well, just the year 2011, my beat maker was making beats for them. But Yeah, nothing really ever came from it because I was just the A&R, right? I never rapped. I just put I got my buddy B Styles did the song with you, but I'm not on the song. I'm just the middleman, and I just A&R. I call it an A&R. I believe that's what it is.
Right. Definitely.
Yep, just middleman the whole way, and that's what Steve Rifkin is one of the. His name's on my list because he's one of the people that I've always looked up to, and I knew that you would work together.
Yeah, Steve, great people, man. Like he gave a fuck about the vision and, you know, came down and really saw what the hell we had going on, man. A lot of times people just want to be culture vultures. Culture vultures. You know, they want to capitalize off of, you know, a movement or a buzz, a wave, and they don't give a damn about the, you know, the meaning of the culture. They don't care about how things are presented. And you know, Steve Rifkin, he was never like that. He would get out there with us, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he go like a lot of CEOs and A&Rs and labor owners, they're not trying to come to the, you know, your concerts or be in the studio with you or be in the hood with you. They rather just sit behind their desk and, you know, have their little puppets or minions or workers go do all the dirty work, get on the front line. But I respect anybody, you know what I'm saying, that's a boss, that's a CEO, that's not afraid to get down and dirty in the trenches with you and show, like, I feel like as a general, you got to show your soldiers sometimes, hey, man, I get out there on the front line with you, you know what I mean? Sometimes, yeah, I still got it because people can resent you. Like, how you got us doing everything? You know. So sometimes you got to get out there and show a motherfucker, hey, the bank account may be bigger, but I'm still same thinker.